Hello, I'd like to talk to you today about self belief and what it means to truly find beauty within yourself. I'm not just referring to the way you look, I'm talking about your overall personality and how you feel about yourself on a daily basis. Because fundamentally, although we might be in the physical form, we are actually energetic beings, and what we think and feel about ourselves is how other people will pick up on us, and that's how they will perceive us in return. So, from this point of view, we can understand that it doesn't matter how much makeup you're wearing or how many designer labels you've got on. It's really more about how you feel about yourself and what you believe about yourself on a daily basis that people are picking up on and resonating with. So, for example, you could be the most beautiful girl in the room, but if you have no confidence, then no one will be able to see that. They'll probably see you've got a pretty face, but because you don't carry and project your energy into that space, then people aren't willing to necessarily take you seriously or believe that you are truly beautiful. Because really, a beautiful person doesn't necessarily have to prove it, they just authentically are that. And this takes a little bit of practice and persistence to get to that state. So, yes, it's good to make yourself look nice and have your hair done regularly and wear plenty of nice eyeliner and lipsticks in a bid to make ourselves look more youthful and effortlessly beautiful. But at the end of the day, if we don't love and value ourselves, then who are we doing it for? What is the purpose of putting on a mask to the world when deep inside we don't really like ourselves and we just can't wait to get out of that space where other people might be, judging us? I mean, nobody likes to be judged, which I think is really at the core of why we do put on a mask to the world, why we do want to maybe wear makeup or have plastic surgery or aim for something in the physical sense, which we might feel or perceive that we're lacking, even though we're not. We just perceive we are, and because of this, we feel we are, and then we carry that energy onto other people in return. What we really need to do is take a step back and look inside ourselves. And this can take a bit of work. I mean, we have to put the effort in on a daily basis to want to feel good within ourselves and help other people to do so too. It could take a while for us to convince ourselves that we are good enough as we are, because the media has it so ingrained in us that we just are simply not good enough. I mean, have you seen how many images and magazines there are out there just telling you on a daily basis that you need to lose weight, or that you should have a facelift, or that women over 30 or 40 are no longer valuable in the marketplace? I mean, what kind of message is society sending to people in general? That they're only good if they look attractive? Surely it's about having a pure heart and soul, rather than necessarily wanting to be Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. For while the image we present to the world is important to a certain degree because of how we're going to be judged based on that, it's ultimately not really where it's at. Our ultimate judgments are going to be on our character and how we perceive and treat other people in return. And I believe this is what truly makes a beautiful person, not someone who is idolizing a model shape or wanting to be a little bit slimmer or a little bit taller or any number of other physical attributes that might be impossible to obtain. No, I believe that a really truly confident and beautiful person knows their own worth, and they don't want to try to change that as a result. They simply are, and they do this and believe this every day in their thoughts and actions. And so this is something that I've had to think about myself, because I've struggled a lot with my self-esteem and self-worth. And I've come to realise that just because I don't look a certain way, or I may be feeling unconfident in myself, doesn't mean that I'm not less of a person than anyone else in the world. In fact, it's my so-called shortcomings, which are all my so-called perceived shortcomings that I see in myself, that other people might find desirable or, something to attain to. But the thing is, we just don't know how people are really feeling about us. This can change from moment to moment. It's more important that we come to learn and respect who we are as people rather than try to change ourselves to fit the mould. So whether you're a model and you're already beautiful and, you know, you get judged in that way because society says, oh, you can't be anything more than your looks, or you're a computer nerd and you don't have any looks, and all of a sudden you start looking like really, really beautiful according to the society standards another day. It doesn't really matter. It's more about how we perceive ourselves. I mean, we all have our off days. It doesn't really matter if we are, so to speak, truly beautiful on those off days, and in the way the world would perceive it, you know, generally. It's more about how we feel within ourselves. And if we can accept this and become our beautiful selves, then we can really start to transition away from the physical reality, which is a temporary illusion in many respects, and start to come into a more truthful place, a more soulful place, which, okay, is just one, the physical is just one projection of our soulful experience. But ultimately, it's not who we really are. Who we really are goes beyond the physical. And that's what society has to slowly learn and accept, that we're no less valuable because we've gotten older, or because, you know, we're not the certain body shape or size that society says is desirable. It doesn't really matter about any of that, because all of that is changeable. What really matters is your soul and how you really value yourself on a daily basis. And if you can come into that space and feel it every single day, then you will empower that energy, and that energy will become your aura, and your aura will naturally start to transmit a beautiful energy to other people, and people will notice you for that. They'll look and they'll stare and they'll go, wow, you know, who's that girl or who's that guy? They've got such a beautiful presence about them. And it's not necessarily that they've got the prettiest face. It's more that their personality is something to really be really aspiring to. And I think that's what it is at the end of the day. That's where true beauty comes from. It comes from the soul, and really acknowledging that light within yourself and then giving it out into the world, and not necessarily trying to fit the mold of an image. Because like I say, the image is changeable and will disappear one day. We're all going to get older. We're all going to suffer through certain physical ailments, no doubt, and that's just part of life. But if we can accept where we are right now and just believe that we are genuinely good enough and follow through with that, then that's where we'll find our true and everlasting beauty. And no one can take that away from us, because at the end of the day, we're fundamentally good people, and that beauty will always shine through. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back more soon with more topics.